Hey everybody, this is the Board Buds, and today we're doing a review of Time to Panic by Ivy Studio. This is a cooperative game about getting your card numbers in order while fighting the timeline that is falling apart and causing issues to disassemble what you've done. So what were your thoughts on our playthrough?
I thought it was fun. When you explained it to me and taught me what we were doing, I had pretty low expectations. I thought it was going to be kind of a little boring and bleh, but it was. I actually had a pretty good time. There was more to it than I thought. I think that's mostly due to the powers on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So when you play, you're trying to get the numbers 1 to 36 in order.
Yeah.
We start with some amount out in a gap, but each card has a special power on it. So when you play a card, you get to activate its power and usually one of the powers of the cards next to it, and that led to some cool choices and interactions.
Yeah, it definitely made it interesting trying to make sure you could combo things and put them in the right spot. And there also was a panic system that at the end of every turn does something to mess with what you're doing. So either adding cards out onto the field or like swapping cards or shuffling them around. So even if you early on get things in order, it's difficult to keep it that way with everything that's going on.
Yeah, we had everything pretty nice and neat there relatively quickly, and then it kind of all fell apart again. And
Yeah.
once you get things in order, when they get out of order, it can feel quite like a pretty big pain to fix it.
Yeah. And when you add cards onto the timeline, you're only allowed to add to the far left, the far right, or any gap tokens that you've put out. So it kind of means that even if you have like 1 all the way to the left and 36 all the way to the right, like when you look at your hand and like, oh, I have a 17, I can only put that in a bad spot. How do I get this like to the middle without just you have to shift things and then like shift everything back up. So it's difficult in that regard.
Yeah, that definitely at the end when we were mostly out of gaps and only had a few cards left and we had the high and the low stuff where it went, it was kind of hard to figure out what we wanted to do. And the whole gap token thing I thought was pretty necessary and kind of implemented in a neat way. So when you do certain actions, you'll introduce gaps into the timeline, which is where you can add and sometimes move certain cards to. So helps you get stuff into the middle of the line.
Yeah, a big part of it is like you can, once you get your numbers in order, if they're all consecutive, some of the powers let you basically collapse that, put a gap, and get rid of those cards. So it cleans up what you're doing, and it also gives you a nice gap that you can start putting stuff in the center again.
Yeah, the delete, which just straight up takes one card out, also created a gap.
Yeah.
And those seemed like some really powerful actions. The collapse was something that seemed like we had to try to set up. And I think we were trying to set up like bigger stretches of consecutive numbers, but I don't really know if that was productive or not.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell how many collapses you'll get. So I was like, oh, do we need to do like one big one?
Right.
But then I kind of realized, oh, I have actually more collapses than I probably need. So we probably could have just done smaller ones to create more gaps.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. And the panic adds a nice difficulty to it, and there's like 3 different difficulty levels that you can play where the panic cards get even worse and worse.
Were we playing on the easiest?
We played on the easiest, and we got the second highest score that you could get with just 1 mistake. But looking at the harder cards, they basically do similar things, just more extreme, where it'll add more cards or put them face down where you can't know what they are.
They definitely seemed like they would have made it much harder. We played it too. What do you think? How do you think this would scale?
I don't think it'd be too bad scaling up because at the end of the day, there's the same amount of cards, so the game won't really take longer. It just has more people. We didn't really talk the co-op aspect of it. You're not allowed to really discuss what card numbers you have or what abilities they have on them, as well as like when you peek at cards that are face down, you can't really say anything outside putting a token on them to say where you think they need to go. So it might get a little bit harder just because the information is more across more people.
Yeah, some people don't really like the whole limited, but not like strictly limited communication. But I thought it was mostly clear in this of what we should and shouldn't be talking about. It didn't seem like we were like towing any lines to cheat or anything like that.
Yeah.
I do think that this could cause some AP for people. So
Yeah.
probably beware of who you're going to play this with. Because a lot of information with only like partially known. So I can definitely see some people struggling on turns to make a decision here.
Definitely.
And because you're going to have to make choices where none of your options feel good or right. So I think that could really slow some people down.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think overall, like kind of the way we played it, I mean, it's supposed to be a short game, so I think, you and me are probably not that AP prone there, where we just kind of like, well, this seems like the best. Let's just do it and see what happens. And
yeah. What'd you think about the art and stuff?
I mean, the art is pretty abstract, as you can kind of tell from the cover. The cards all kind of have a similar style on them, where it's just a very abstract thing on it. So if you're into that, I mean, they looked fine. I bought this game and it came with sleeves, so all of them were sleeves, so they felt nice to like shuffle. But I think they always do a pretty good job with their card quality overall. So I thought they were pretty nice.
I didn't like the art really at all, but it wasn't like offensive, and the artistic renditions of the numbers are really hard to read, but they have just a nice. They have in white, and all the cards are pretty dark, so white stands out, but just a nice, clean, printed one in the corners. So it wasn't actually an issue, but the numbers on the card, it's like the big number in the middle of the card is really abstract and difficult.
When I think about it, I feel like I was staring more at just the number in the corner than the actual thing on the card. So
not an issue, but
well, yeah, I think it's good that they put that there, definitely. And, overall, I think the quality of the actual components was nice. And the tokens are in there are wooden tokens, which is nice to have. So for like a small box, I think it's a pretty good job.
I agree. Want to get into scores?
Yeah, sure.
You want to kick us off?
I think for overall, I would give this probably like a 7.5. I think it was pretty fun. Something that's simple to just, pick up and play. I think the rule explanation was maybe a little bit long for the first time, but I think that probably could get shortened down. It's not that complicated once I kind of got my head around it. I think the harder modes will definitely make it more interesting, and I could actually see this as being a decent solo game as well, where if you are kind of into the puzzle optimization. So I think it's cool. It's something I'd probably bring as a after game to things every once in a while.
Yeah, I pretty much in the exact same boat. Probably go with 7.5 as well. Like I said, initially when you explained it to me, I had very low expectations, but ended up having a really good time and would like to play it some more. No real issues. Only concern would be some of our group I don't think I'd really want to play it with, because it would probably go really long, and at that point it probably would not be that fun. But as long as you got people playing quick, good time. Look forward to playing some more.
All right, so that was Time to Panic by Ivy Studios. If you like it, check it out, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.